Well, let's talk about Zillow and the way they just blew themselves up. I can't stop talking about it because it's such a perfect opportunity for you as a consumer, as a home buyer, to slow down and take a look and see what is actually happening over there where you are. What are your thought processes? So let's just talk about this estimate and what happened. So Zillow went into the home buying business and they decided they were going to, disintermediate realtors and go buy houses directly and then sell them directly. They were going to buy houses low, sell them high. They failed to do that. Their algorithm, their formula for determining what a home would be worth when they went to sell it was off, and they can't predict home values in the future. Their algorithm is off, which means the Zestimate is off because their algorithm is off. They don't know what homes are worth. You can't figure it out through just crunching data. It's too granular. A home, they can't figure out if there's trash in the neighbor's yard, this home is worth less. They can't see that in an algorithm. I live on an island. When they measure the value of my house, they do it within a certain mileage, radius, and they get houses that aren't on the island lumped into there. Well, no one is shopping for a house where I live and off the island where I live. It's too granular. Real estate is too local. It's specific to the house. There is no algorithm possible that's going to determine that. Seriously, if the neighbor's house is trashed, your house is worth less. It's just the way it goes. If your house needs paint, it's worth less. If your house needs a new kitchen, there's just no way an algorithm is going to get it that fine. Do you get it? Okay, so that's what, and then Zillow, had a huge bet on that. They laid off 25% of their workforce. I don't mean to laugh. A lot of people just lost their job. I'm just laughing at the size of the bet they wagered on their ability to guess how much homes were going to be worth, which is like guessing coin flips. It's a fool's errand, right? You don't bet that much money on roulette for that very reason, okay? So what does all that have to do with you and why it's even an issue for you? I mean, what do you care that Zillow did that? Because you need to know what things are worth. You have a need to know, a need to predict, a need to know what's going to happen. You have a predisposition, a bias for certain ways of seeing things. So you see a Zestimate and it's on a really official looking website and it looks really slick and it's got, it's got a number to it. It's got something you can put your hands around. That sticks in your mind. It shows up as real. It's availability bias. In other words, as soon as you can think of it, you think it means something. So you see the Zestimate, it looks real. It's got an authority to it. And now it sticks in your mind as something that's valid, even though they just laid off 25% of their workforce because it's so invalid, because they really can't do it. Nonetheless, your bias towards authority and towards availability will lead you to think that number is meaningful, and it's not. So what is someone to do if that number is not meaningful, which it's not? What's someone to do? Well, it's easy. It is actually easy, and it's fairly simple. It's actually very simple and fairly easy. Let's go that way. What's simple? You got to slow down. You just got to slow down. You go, oh, look, there's a number printed on a website. All right, what does that mean? I don't know. It doesn't mean anything. It's a number printed on a website. It's a bunch of pixels. It doesn't mean anything. What's there to do? Well, why don't I slow down and talk to a professional and look at the data the professional uses? You can't see the data that goes into the algorithm that Zillow uses, but if I did a valuation for a home, I would show you the data and you and I could mastermind and look to see what is that home actually worth right now. Looking at the same data, and we could think it through, knowing full well that we're not going to come up with a definitive answer. There is no definitive answer of what a home is worth. There is no real value to a home. It depends what day it goes on market. Again, look at the neighbor metaphor, the neighbor analogy. If your neighbor goes on sale and they put their house, if you want $500,000 for your house, but your neighbor puts their house on sale and they're only asking $400,000, your home is worth less. Then if your home, that you're not going to get $500,000 for your home if your neighbor's is at $400,000 and it's similar. You're just not. Why? Because that home right next door just sold for 400. So it's very granular. It's very time sensitive. So you're going to get a ballpark, an idea, a direction of what a home is worth. And then you're going to need to put it on the market to see what it's worth. The other side of it is if you're buying a home, it's not worth anything until someone shows up with the money. So if someone shows up with 600 for the house you think is worth 500, that house all of a sudden is worth 600 because someone else is willing to spend 600. That's now what it's worth. That's why the algorithms can't take all that into account. So you got to slow down. You got to work with a professional. You got to look what your particular position is, right? What it's worth to you. And then you can move forward in a market that's always and forever going to be unpredictable, knowing you have a partner, an expert, a fiduciary partner at your side called a realtor. Okay. So questions about that, questions about your situation, let me know. That's what I'm here for. But the Friday tip is slow down. All right. Talk to you soon.